just explain this. If you don't know these common phrases, these might be tricky and you might have a hard time. But again, what we're working with is the relationship between these two words, right? So the word topic is under the word discussion. And there's a common phrase that says the topic under discussion. So that's the answer I was looking for. If that's not what you wrote, you can go ahead and revise or edit your answer. Topic under discussion. And again, we want to make sure we always press turn in on our Google Classroom so that you know that that assignment has been turned in. If you've already turned it in, you see, you can edit that answer. If you want to see what your classmates have answered, you can also go to that link. Hello, my darling. How are you? You look good. I like the hair. Gorgeous. Yeah, loving it. That's what the pandemic does for you, right? Gives you time to grow your hair out. Lovely, lovely. I heard that song. The one you and Naya just put out the other day. Remember, I know who you are with your name. I know it all.
I came to get my final transcripts. I got one test for my GED, so.
Okay. I know, which one?
I think it's, I got my English region, I got my math. I think it's science.
Okay.
And I passed science. That's why I don't get it. But I'm gonna come back before.
You know, I wish you would come by my my Zoom link on Wednesdays at 11:45 and meet my poet.
I'll come.
You'd be amazed. She's fantastic.
I got you. Before I leave, I'm gonna come and check.
Naya knows how to get there. Just ask her. Yeah, because you know he writes rhymes. Whenever my students are musicians and write rhymes, they should meet my poets.
Yeah, like more inspiration.
Exactly. That's why Amanda still comes 10 years after she graduated. She's not stupid. She wants the free workshops.
10 years after graduation?
Well, not quite. 8. She graduated in 2012.
Wow.
She graduated when I was pregnant with my daughter. So. All right. Yep. It's okay if you don't get the right answer. This is how we learn. It's one of the things I really want to teach you all is that it is okay. In fact, today we're going to work on asking questions for that very reason. All right, we're going to read some more of Chlorine Sky. This assignment might take more than one day. We'll see. We're going to read some more of Chlorine Sky. And then you're going to ask some questions. So before anything else, I'm going to go over this PowerPoint here. You have access to it as well. Can I get rid of this? How do I get this out of the way? I want this to go away. How do I get this to go away? Anybody know?
Wait, what?
This bar on the bottom here. I don't want it there. It's in the way.
I think if you share your screen, not with the desktop, but just the page, that might change it.
You can make it smaller.
Thank you, Leslie. Yeah, because I want it to take up the whole screen, but I want it to be able to have all my fully functioning.
You can make it smaller too.
Okay.
You see by like where the Zoom logo is, like the
Yeah.
lines, it'd be like yeah.
Okay, I think I got it. Thank you, my love. All right, so one of the big reading strategies that we always want to use when we're reading is to ask questions. So real good readers don't actually understand everything that they read the first time. They use 4 kinds of questions to think about what they're reading. So they use clarifying questions, they use predicting questions, inferring, and pondering. And we're going to go over those different types. So a clarifying question is just, you know, if you need to understand something better. What does this word or this sentence mean, right? The butterfly emerged from its chrysalis. If you don't know the word emerge, just ask, what is the word emerge? Don't ever be afraid to ask clarifying questions. If you don't understand something, that's what school's about. Get clear. If you're lost, come in and say, I'm lost. What does that mean? So a clarifying question can usually be answered quite simply. It's just, you don't have that knowledge. You don't have that information. Predicting question is different. This is the kind of question you might ask if you want to make a guess about what's happening next, what's coming next. What will happen next in the story? What will go next? What's going on? Is this going to happen? So if you guys have read The Very Hungry Caterpillar, which my daughter loved when she was baby, on Tuesday, the very hungry caterpillar ate through 2 pears, but he was, and if you've read the book, you can predict he was still hungry. An inferring question means that the answer will not be written in the book, but you're going to be able to figure it out by using your brain, putting together what you're reading with what you already know. So did the author mean this when they said that, right? An inferring question might be, we might ask about Chlorine Sky, why is she always in the pool? What does the pool mean to her? It's not written straight out in the book. But if you think about it, and you think about all the times she talks about being in the pool and what it means to her, you can come up with some theories or some information that might be correct. So inferring questions are usually, you have to think about them. There's not just one right answer. And a pondering question might be even bigger than that. This might mean you need to really think carefully, right? About kind of more abstract things. I wonder if butterflies are insects. And then you have to think, oh yeah, I guess so, because I know that the insects have body parts and 2 pairs, and they have that. And, you know, you think about it more deeply. So a pondering question might be bigger. It might be like, what happens? Somebody asked last period, what happens to a girl if she doesn't have contact with her father? Right? That's a pondering question.
Yeah.
There's not one right answer. We could talk about it. We could really all have different opinions, and we could get into some discourse around that kind of question because it's big enough. It's not just a simple in the book kind of question. So again, we can talk about thick versus thin questions. Thick questions really make you think. They're like open-ended. They don't have a quick answer. They're like, why does this happen? Or what is this going on? Why? What if? They're bigger questions that make us have a discussion usually. And thin questions, they don't make you think as much. They usually have a quick answer. And they're not bad. It's like a clarifying question. If you don't know what a word means, that's a thin question, but don't be afraid to ask it, because if you don't know, you don't know. You won't know until you ask, right? So again, in the world, there's a lot of things like, oh, you should just Google it. You should just Google it. Well, this is a classroom. You don't have to just Google it. You can ask me. You can ask Leslie. No shame. So where do you find the answers to the questions? Today, we're just going to focus on asking them, but there are different places. There are the kind of answers that you're going to find in the book. It's right there. What is the main character's best friend's name? It's right there, Laylee. It's on the first page. That's like the kind of questions that are easy to answer. But sometimes you have to use your brain more. That's an in your head question. And the answer can be found using your own thoughts or schema, as well as information from the text. What happens to a girl when she doesn't have a father in her life? You have to have some knowledge in your head about that, plus the book, to make an inference, to put it together, to come up with an answer. And then your answer might be different than someone else's answer, because everybody has different life experience. We all walk in with different stuff in our brain, right? So that's why we're here, is to like bring the stuff we have in our brain to the text, to each other, and learn more. You could also get the answer just in your head, all on your own, just your own thoughts. My personal experience tells me this, and this is what I think based on my personal experience. I'm not even using the book. Or you might be able to find the answer in the book, but you have to think carefully about the whole story. Why is it called Chlorine Sky? Right? What does that mean? That's a big question. We have to read the whole book. We're not far enough in it yet to answer that question. We're going to have to read the whole story. So here's just some kinds of things you might think about as you're asking questions, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to read some of the text, and then we're going to use a Padlet as a place to write questions. So if you go back to your assignment, you have access to that if you need to look at that more. You might want to open up the Padlet in a browser window, and then also open up the book. And we're going to scroll through until we find the chapter. When kids have. That's the last one we read. So we'll look for that. I think it's on page 66, 67. So we'll start with this and just to review. We've been reading this. We've been seeing this story develop. Again, if you have not read up to here, please do go back and read. The first assessment was up to page 42. The second assessment, which will be this Thursday, will likely be up to page 100, maybe a little further. And we're going to read together today. But if I'm going too fast or too slow for you, let me know. And then we're going to write our questions. Again, no wrong or right answers. You can ask all 4 kinds of questions. You can ask clarifying questions or predicting questions or any kind of questions. Just have to get my audiobook open. Let me make sure I shared my screen with the sound. If you guys are on Zoom, if you're with me, could you give me an indication so I know? Thumbs up, some kind of reaction. Thank you. Crying, Jamer? Am I funny? I hope I'm funny. Nice to meet you, my dear.
When I'm on the basketball court,
That's not the right
I ain't
place.
laughed at.
Sorry, I'm trying to get to the right spot. Which is when kids have. Here we go.
When kids have a different daddy than their siblings, it's hard to remember what comes first, the heart hurt or the stomach growl. Issa got a different daddy. He's okay, not mean like her. But my dad is a ghost. Mama say some people can't stay out of jail. Issa say he ain't never want you. Her nails click in the air like they closing a casket. Cousin Inga say, Issa just jealous. But I know hate when I see it. After 4th grade, I learned you think you so smart is a threat. In high school, without no daddy to show me how to dribble or pivot, with a sister who act like she hate me, and a cousin who more sister than cousin, I figure I'm safer if I stay away from light. Ain't no daddy to say move right, right left. Mama work for everyone, so I don't hold my breath. Just stay away from the spotlight. The light gets too hot for brown girls like me to feel safe. This is when I learned to play not as smart. This is when I learned to keep my hands in my lap during Mr. Bokobi's class. This is when I learned to not run as fast. This is when I stopped beating the boys and running, and kickball, and tetherball, and t-ball. This is how I learned to not play as big, 'cause nobody got time for a girl outshining them. My big cousin Inga asked me, who you playing small for? And I pretend I don't know what she's talking about. She's 5'11" and the tallest woman in our family. She's a basketball coach for the Lil Kid League during summer. And after she saw I had handles in 4th grade, she ain't let me drop the rock since. Who you playing small for? Means I don't get to slink into the corner. I don't get to find a home in the shadow, not when there is a court nearby. Inga attends downtown community college and talks to Issa almost every day. But sometimes, it's like they don't even like each other. When Issa and Inga's arguments get too big and Issa screams into the phone, then it's weeks before I see Inga again. I'll come home from the pool and she'll be on the porch or sitting on the hood of her mama's car, waiting for Issa to come home from her classes at State. She'll shrug when I say, where you been? And then say, I love her, but I don't like her. Most times I think if we weren't related, we wouldn't be around each other at all. When she's at the house, we go straight to the court. She makes me play her one-on-one. She hits the ball out my hand if I'm sloppy. She kicks at my feet, planted, and shakes her head. Play D. Lil, what did I teach you? Inga calling me Lil tells me I'm someone's sister. Inga calling me Lil shows me I'm not out here on my own, and everything I do means something to someone else. And just like that, I begin to play for keeps. On the court, there is no mercy. I'm a baller, and I don't care who is bothered by all the space I take up. So, when Clifton says, that sweet, sweet simile from 4th grade English, I force a smile. I hold his hand and look past the bleachers for Laylee. The day I met Clifton at the mall was the day I wore my cousin Tia's hoodie from the thrift store, and Inga flat ironed my hair real cute, and my bangs fell all around the front of my face, and Issa rolled her eyes at me, so I know I was fly. Past the bleachers. In the corner, next to the far side of the green gym doors, Laylee sits like the queen, surrounded by some girls from Fashion Club. They all wear their tight yellow pants. They all shine bright, like diamonds. Laylee see me, and usually she would wave me over, tell whatever girl on her right side to move over. She's my right hand. But not today. We just stare each other down. She looks me hard in my eyes, and my knees lock into tree trunks. My eyes don't dance like my heartbeat racing. They stare straight back, hot daggers. I remember things will never be the same. I remember things will never be the same. I got my own ideas. I got my own body. I got my own mind. I'd let Clifton lead me to the bleachers on the opposite side of the court. I realize as I plop down on the bleacher seats, ain't no one but my mama and Laylee ever held my hand before. There is a rumor going around, and I know it got my name on it. That's how Trey got shot. That's how Tanisha got. Rumors be the worst thing since government cheese. Grandma Maxie say, hands crisscrossed across the chest mean you got something to hide. She also say, make a cheese sandwich for after-school snack, no matter the stomach ache that come for me. Let Tanisha tell it, keeping to yourself won't save you. She was just at the bus stop, and the girls jumped her for wearing blue. And the girls jumped her for talking to their boyfriends at the Mac Road Mall. And the girls jumped her because she thinks she cute. And I don't want my name attached to a beatdown or a rumor. But laws of the school say I got at least one, if not both, coming to me. I figure it's the rumor. 'Cause it gets too quiet when I walk into a room, like even my breath is being judged. And my whole stomach turns on itself, tight and rock hard, like I just ate one of them cheese sandwiches. I wish I could ask Laylee what happened. Why is everyone staring at me? But I got too many questions and not one person to depend on for answers. When a rumor hit the wind, the room is a graveyard of friends. These the same girls that laugh when I laugh, but now they laugh without including me. Now they take pictures with each other, and I ain't nowhere in the frame.
All right, we're gonna stop there, even though we want to go on maybe. And if you read ahead, you read ahead. But go ahead and review what you've read as you wish. Read it as many times as you need to. And then come in here and ask some questions. Put your name on it so I know what questions you're asking. Don't be worried. You can read other people's questions. And really, we're just going to try and have student generated questions on this assignment. Okay. When you've asked a couple of questions, you can go back to Google Classroom and look at something different. You can ask me for support. But we have about 15 minutes for that.
Oh, today's I joined the internship program.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Which one?
cooking.
Nice.
Yeah, today's my third. I was like, I was thinking about. It, I was like, wait, today's my third. So yeah.
And you get some food. They're gonna send you home with some food to prepare, I think.
Yeah.
So make sure you check in with Ms. Cottrell. She's the one that's organizing.
Yeah. She's here today.
I haven't seen her. If she's not, then Allison will know.
Or I think I could talk to Roberto.
Yeah, yeah. Or Joanne, I'm sure they all know. So this was another thing. But you can't do it, but it's like, the thing that I want you to focus on is not catching up with all of the assignments.
Wait, can I see Roberto? I want to ask him.
If he's in his office,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
so we're on lesson 32. Right? So what I had you do is project. So you did this one, and now we're gonna have a journal writing. Start this. Basically, I want you to write every practice writing. And there's not really give you some prompts here. And again, don't worry about going backwards. It's on the third. Start there. There's a practice I've been doing, which is if you write down something that like it helps you change your way of thinking. When you read before, what do you think about it? Ideally, you write for 5 minutes. Just build up your speed. Don't worry about going through that plan. This is about how you're going to get all those other assignments done. Because you also have to count it, right? You want to see it? Because you also could finish either of these two or all of these. This is from the fall. This one is right. It's only projects. But you do like this is a writing a way to double dip. And I think Kelly has the same time. You write this essay and then you cut and paste it and put it in this. Why not? I'm telling you, I'm giving you permission. You know what I'm saying? Right, because this is just asking you, right? And what I'm looking for here is this that you've got it all complete and that it shows growth. So if you show the work towards your essay, that's working towards writing content. It's also helping with the content. So then you get 3 input, right? Yeah. I'm looking through ways because I think that's really all you've got left. I think hers is mostly on the path. And she has a good past preparation. She can do there. She probably that next grade is the last grade. They're really supposed to be honest. We move on to last grade, so I have much kids. I think you should also know it. It's the same class. But if the master gets too busy, and you can't focus. Right? Yeah, but I told now. You're so close, right? You're not far. Do you think that has to be a right answer or is the fact that there's not? You haven't even think it was going to be at all. As long as I've known you, I've said that. I wish you think that you know it. Then you're like, you know, I want you to stop yourself. I want you to try it. And just turn it in and trust it. You know, I can't tell. I can't tell for sure. I'm behind. I routinely misspell stuff on the board in an email. I look at spell check since I was a child, and I was doing my grade like 7 to 8. I started playing that out my head. I have to figure it out. But my point is, I have, you know why? Because I didn't do a lot, just because I couldn't do some shit. So now I just had truth. And when I get it wrong, I just like, yo, what's up, Steven?
So, saying hi.
I'm happy to see you. I miss you. I wish you were in my class too. Yeah, that's what stops people from English all the time. Because we just all that shit screwed up. Or, here's the deal. Well, you know, I have children. I have to do off. You can still do school if you want to. That's what I'm telling you. I can do this. I can do this. Anyway. So yeah, you have English B lab, but look, it looks like it's just my classes. You have an online lab with Kelly, but I don't even see it in the class. People are just finished lab. You like her project? Oh, I do. Feel you want credits too. You can interchange English credits, but the standards are all. So, you know, and then we've got econ and US history. So once you come tomorrow, So we can talk to her during this. If you want to go for Zoom right now. then-
I said I submitted an answer, but,
I need to approve it. Let me
Yeah.
approve it for you. Put your name on there so I know it's
Yeah,
you,
that's it.
okay? Yeah, you can edit it. It'll give you a chance. Economics is pretty cool. It's like about how money works in the world.
let me, edit.
Couple of times.
Oh, never mind.
Then you don't turn them in.
I
Then I'm like,
knew she's like, oh,
if I've made a mistake, I will absolutely fix it. It looks like this is what you need, right? So you get 1, 2, 3 English credits. You need, US 1, US 2. government economics. And that's it. Arts and money. Yeah, and you're gonna need the English reading.
Eric,
Right.
here's a-
I'm not sure, they're telling us what we're gonna do.
I just checked it, and I know it's gonna have a session. Or like Zoom.
So, you know, the one you're in, that you've been working on today, is a class that's ongoing. If you like it and you feel like you need to get the skills, if you think like, I don't know, what to do this one, I'm trying to get the skills, I do project minus,
Oh,
start
so-
okay? This is an area, you write about yourself, there's 3 questions. And you want that session.
I'm gonna join it today. Today's gonna, I'm gonna join. Okay, I'm gonna make sure. I'm definitely gonna join today.
If you don't know how to do that, write something and turn it in. And then I go, oh, here, how about you add something and I help you with the next step. Okay, 'cause that's what I do. Give you good money. And that's it, step by step. Okay?
virtual class.
Step by step, little by slowly, you don't get daunted and that. You're really close now. See, this is just stuff you don't even need to worry about. This is like rubrics.
So it's basically that.
Just pick one of these 3 questions. And then you can make your own stuff before you start to read the rest of that shit and accept that question and go right here.
Yeah.
And then all you have to do is press turn it in. I don't get an email that says something. I mean, you can even be meta about this, right? Which is like, think about this is that conversation. you have with the obstacle you encounter. Time is always a challenge. I'm just couldn't pass English. I would affect me at putting back. But then I came to school and the teacher convinced me I'm smart enough. to do this shit. It's like, you're right. Essay done, right? But you might have a better story to tell. No, and out of school stories. I don't know much about it at all. I'd like to. I'm sure. There's something. Yeah, well, when you stay home, you must have. Yeah,
You have a TikTok?
I do. You haven't found me yet?
I don't have to, I mean, I have it, but I just like don't really.
Oh, yeah. You can come find me on TikTok. I'm a teacher everywhere. So, you know, that's the thing about my social media. I use it for,
But you.
well, TikTok is where I teach lessons that I don't really have room to teach in school.
Well,
Yeah, like a lot of I'm teaching my daughter about how to be an anti-racist white person, so I do a couple TikToks about that. So but there's no real room to talk about that in school.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's an important thing to teach. I think everybody should be teaching their little kids about it because the world's not going to change unless we change it. So,
Yeah.
you know, so I get on my political platform on TikTok.
Hey, what do you think of my response?
Oh, I love that question, Julia. Yeah, that's interesting. Like, do parents help these sorts of situations or not when there's all this jealousy and rumors and friendship going, you know? Yeah.
Because I feel like when you grow up, like parents like teach you like, oh, you should get along with your cousin, your sister. And I was wondering like what would happen if they actually had someone to tell them that, you know, I feel like things would be like a better story, you know?
Yeah, well, like definitely, because Laylee and Lil have been friends for a long time. If their moms were involved, if their moms were friends, would it get this far, do you think?
I mean, no, I feel like they would probably like find a way to talk things out. I just feel like they wouldn't really be like always like.
Yeah. Yeah, I certainly don't let Stella have beef with her friends, you
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
Like, if she's getting into problems with friends, we help them talk about it, we help them mediate. That's a really good question. And that's like the kind of pondering question that there isn't an answer in the text, but we could like make a lot of guesses, you know, based on our own schema and our own experiences. Good stuff, guys. Yeah, I have TikTok, I have Facebook, I'm on Instagram. I'm on Snapchat, I am. I sure am. Some students, that's how they find me. That's on my Snapchat, I'll show you. Mostly talk to students.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, every once in a while I post a story or something, but right, this is my, that's my Snapchat. 1971. You can add me, absolutely. It's a good way to catch me because, you know, people are more likely to be on Snapchat than texting.
For me, it's the opposite.
Purple Sid, 1971. which is the year I was born. Add to my story today. Yeah, you'll see like if I do post on Snapchat, it's something like, you know, we're at the community meeting, you should be here. It's like I'm a teacher everywhere. I'm not anything but. But it's a good way, like this is how I found out that Niley and Isaac had made a song and got to listen to it.
Oh, they're also removing the food with drink rules too.
What do you mean?
Like if you go to like a restaurant and you just want to have a drink, and you have their like they must order food.
Oh,
They're
so now
removing
you
that.
can. Yeah, that's the on TikTok, so you can.
Wait, $42.
Only at $40.
I remember this was one time like I created like a TikTok account. I had like an account there, and I really didn't post much. And someone spent $50.
Yeah, I don't really care about followers. I'm just, you know, if somebody wants to hear my stuff,
I mean, me too. So like it was just like I guess
like
like
I gave. See, like this one is. I just, whatever little lesson I have that doesn't fit in my classroom, I put it on TikTok or Instagram if it's too long for TikTok. Or if I see somebody's TikTok that I think is amazing, I'll amp it. Like this one kid was going on about school dress codes being oppressive, and I like what he said, so. Another kid was like telling off an adult but using these beautiful knowledge of logical fallacies, which I tried to teach in the winter. So I was like, yes, that's logical fallacies. You got it.
I feel like the weeks are just passing by so quickly.
Yes, they are. All right, beloveds.
Like, wow, like that's one.
Let me know if you have any last questions. I'm about to shut down this Zoom. Actually, I might leave it open because Leslie's still in there. But you guys are free to go. The next class will be starting shortly.